Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Corner of Remnant. I'm your host, Larissa, Nerd of Oz, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Hey everyone, I'm Emperial Dawn. I'm a RWBY YouTuber and RWBY fan artist.
Yay! How's everyone? Woo! We're up to the finale, and I'm excited and stressed.
I am hot and sweaty, but that's not because of it's the finale.
It could be.
That's because it is Australia and it's hot, and it's Australia Day as well. Don't know why that adds, but it just is. And I also am feeling very bad for all the I shouldn't, but I'm feeling really bad for all the AH Rooster Teeth people that are out here right now. That's to deal with this heat wave. But they're from Texas, so they should know how to freaking deal with it.
Yeah, it's funny that the Cheap and Hunter guys have come down to Australia in the middle of a freaking heat wave.
Heat wave. Oh. Yeah. But to anyone who has been to those shows or is going to the next and the last Perth show, be excited. It is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it sounds
so
amazing.
Much fun.
I'm jealous. Yes.
For the price of that, for like the price of $50 and them coming out all the way out here for the show they gave us, would happily do that on like a monthly basis.
Was it only $50 a ticket? That's not bad.
For like regular tickets, yeah, I think you pay $200 for like front row seats for VIP, and with that you get a community meetup the day before, and you get community meetup the day before and a Q&A session before the show.
Cool, that's pretty good.
So yeah, definitely worth it. I would know because I paid that 3 times for my 2 friends because I was generous, I guess.
Yes, and they went with you.
Yes.
They enjoyed it?
Yes, they enjoyed it thoroughly, especially because they didn't even watch Issue and Hunter that much these days. They watched other stuff like Funhouse and stuff, but they even really enjoyed the show regardless.
Oh, good. Awesome. It would have been so much fun. I saw it and I was just like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the time off work to go, and it's midweek, and I was like,
Plus
you
have another big travelling trip happening soon. Not you're travelling, but other people are travelling, so you got that to focus on.
Yes, that is very true. I have some time off in February, so that's exciting. And, yes. I apologise if I'm a little spaced out. I'm not feeling the best. I haven't felt the best the last few days. I think it's because we have some, the Americans call them wildfires. I discovered that on stream the other day. Because I was referred to as bushfires. I'm like, what are bushfires?
Yeah.
Wildfires. But we're in Australia, so it's the bush, so they're bushfires. There's a lot going on at the moment, and there's smoke everywhere, so...
Yeah. Australia doesn't really have natural disasters, really. Like, we don't have earthquakes or tsunamis. We have hurricanes. That's a thing. I have to live through that. But as rare as that sounds for any other Australians out there, but what we do have is basically our natural disasters is bushfires. Basically, I don't know if they are the exact same thing as wildfires, or there is some difference, but basically we call them bushfires. They're the equivalent, more or less. So with that, and then me personally, I've been really exhausted since Age Live. Sleep's been off, and with this heat and stuff, like I haven't really done much the past 2 days. I'm hoping to kind of have one really busy day today, and then get back on track tomorrow with the finale and reactions and all that other stuff. So just kind of try and make it through these 3 days, and then hopefully next week, everything will be back on track.
Yes.
That is the plan.
That is the plan. But I got a busy day tomorrow because I got my reactions, of course, to do, and and then I've got D&D with some friends. So and I'm going away midweek for work. So it's a little crazy. At least I got Monday off because it's Australia Day today. Happy Australia Day.
Yeah. Yeah. Not everyone gets work off on Australia Day or the public holiday, but that's another story for another day. But my work's just assholes. So
yeah.
Might be because they're not Australian, but that's...
Well, I was going to head into it later today, actually, for a bit. But, it's Australia Day today and then public holiday on Monday. So I'm going to be trying to get all my reactions edited and everything on the Monday because I'm going to be away midweek. So, and I've uploaded my Chapter 12 reaction, and I don't think it's been unblocked yet. So let's just hope that happens soon.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming up this week, obviously, when it comes to Rooster Teeth. Obviously, all the hype surrounding Genlock. Little overshadowing over RWBY, my opinion. I wish they weren't coming out on the same day.
I wish it was like the next weekend, but especially because I've got so many things to do.
To be fair, if it wasn't going to be this week, it would have been a week earlier.
Yeah.
And then RWBY would have been drawn out an extra week with the 14 episode thing. So this was the compromise, I guess, get it down to 13 episodes and then have the finale on the same day as the premiere. You know,
Yeah.
it's a stubborn thing for me because I just obviously love RWBY, and I just Genlock just doesn't interest me that much. And everyone's losing their mind over it, and I'm happy they are, and I'm really happy that everyone's happy for Rooster Teeth, and I hope it does really well. But hey, see,
Hi, AC.
but you know, I don't know. I just don't know if Genlock will be my thing, and I just much rather. I just wish there was as much, you know, about RWBY. But to be fair, I'm sure the same thing happened when RWBY came out, and it was overshadowing Red versus Blue. So I'm sure the same thing was happening.
I can't remember because I wasn't following back then.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, neither was I. But I imagine the same situation happened. Interesting enough, though, I saw something on Reddit recently, and I didn't look into it because it was like a 30-minute audio podcast thing. But the consensus was that obviously they're working on like RWBY and Genlock, and I think they've already started working on RWBY Volume 7, possibly.
Okay. Well, that wouldn't surprise me if they've already started sort of like putting things together for it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's probably like Miles and Kerry deciding some of the writing, probably.
Because it'll be coming October this year, so yeah, 10 months away.
But I believe there was something along the lines of there's still nothing in the planned works for No Matter of Nowhere Season 2. I could be wrong on that, but that was the consensus, at least what the comments, like the summarizations were saying, that maybe No Matter of Nowhere 2 might not be coming, which would be sad, because I definitely really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I can't understand.
But at the same time, this was them talking about all the 3D stuff, so
yeah,
hopefully that people have just made connections that aren't actually there when it comes to like the 2D and 3D departments being almost completely separate.
Oh yeah, and they've got Camp as well, so I think it was sort of like the same sort of teams working on them.
Yeah, I think Camp and Nomad is the same, but then Genlock and RWBY are completely different. So there's like 3 different groups of animation. There's the 2D and then there's the 2 different 3D animation teams. I believe. Again, I don't know the in teams working, but that's
they're busy at the moment. With so many things that are coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very busy indeed.
So, chapter 12.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts.
Yeah. Overall thoughts. Yeah, I thought it was an amazing follow-up to episode 11. I think it was just as good. I enjoyed it just as much. Yeah, I don't really know much else to say about that. I guess everything I said about episode 11 kind of implies, follows through to this episode.
Exactly, it did. I watched them together, and it's really good watching the 2 episodes together. They just flow on from each other. I loved it. I loved the sort of the action and everything. And the first bit with the mech fight was great, and RWBY, which we'll get into more detail in a minute, and of course Blake and Yang's fight with Adam was amazing as well, and it was great. And then we got the big Grim coming to the city, which is setting up for the finale. So yeah, which was funny because I mentioned that on the corner of Remnant last week, and I said I wonder if they're going to draw in the big Grim or something.
Yeah, speaking of predictions, you also predicted pretty much to a T how they'd handle Yang's semblance.
Yeah.
Pretty much it happened exactly the way you predicted it to happen.
Yes.
She'd remain calm and she'd use it like in one moment.
Yeah, she did it at the right time. She was waiting for the right moment to activate her semblance, and she did. Thank you, Derp Fan, for the host.
Yeah, that seemed very much. If I remember correctly, that is basically what you predicted. So, where I was on the lines of more like Hulk out and kind of go insane.
She remained calm the whole time, which was really good.
Yeah, that was very good. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the episode. Before we get into it, just a few things to go over. Thank you everyone who is watching the stream.
Yes.
Whether you're watching live, commenting, watching the VOD on Twitch, or watching the VOD on YouTube 24 hours after this is being streamed, we appreciate any and all support. Really appreciate it. We don't say it's a very busy day, whether it's Australia Day, whether there are other streams you're enjoying. Regardless, we thank you all, anyone who is enjoying our stuff. Really appreciate it. We love talking to each other about this, and we love anyone else's input in our discussions. We'll be here for another hour or so in this heat, whether it's bushfire heat or sun heat. And we'll be discussing our thoughts on RWBY episode 12, Seeing Red. We are very positive here, and we love the show a lot. So probably won't see too much critical analysis or criticizing and stuff, even though I am a hypocrite and will do that from time to time. But yeah, thank you all. for watching, and it's much appreciated in however you're watching. It is.
And if you're
really
watching
very
on
much
YouTube,
appreciated.
please comment below that you are watching, and we will respond to you. Which actually,
Yeah.
I've been really slack with responding to the comments recently. I need to get onto that. It's been a busy week, okay? I've been reading all the comments though, so yeah, I've read them. I just haven't had a chance to respond to them. Yeah. Thank you, Derp Fan, for the follow.
Yeah.
So, getting into the episode, we started off with the mech fight, or what were we calling her, Cordo Bitch?
I hadn't heard that. Okay, I actually hadn't heard that one.
I mean, yeah, I thought I mentioned it last stream. Someone's called her in my Discord, Cordo Bitch.
I missed that one.
I thought it was
Fair
great.
enough. Yes, I'm just trying to think back. I watched the episode. I don't think I watched the episode very recently.
I watched it yesterday. Whilst it's on my lunch break at work. I just watched actually chapters
Yeah,
10, 11, 12
it
together.
started off with the fight, and we saw the little display HUD of the guys back in Argus cheering her on.
Yep, and there's a little thing appearing on the radar.
And you saw the little thing appearing on the radar, and that was the RWBY Rewind preview for the episode. Then Ruby climbs way back up the cliff, and then they're checking, and then they want to check up on Oscar and stuff. And they're going back and forth with like, yeah, you're worried about us, blah 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 blah. blah.
Yeah.
And you made the prediction last week that the weakness Oscar noticed was the balancing thing.
Yeah, well, I thought it was the balancing, but actually it wasn't. It was something else to do with the gun.
Yes, it was the fact that the missile launchers spring out rather than locked in like the dust cartridges do. So a well-placed shot into those might cause an explosion, damaging the robot arm. And that was the plan they immediately went with Ruby realizing she would need a very quick shot to do that. Jumping up into the ship and obviously getting in there with Maria, much to Oscar's distress. He wasn't.
You're doing crazy!
He didn't think this was exactly the idea when it came to the plan.
Yeah, I love that, and I just love, like, I think I can't remember the exact line that Maria said, but sometimes the best approach is direct or something. Yeah, and yeah, that was great. Ruby's hanging out on the side of the ship, ready to shoot the missile into the missile launcher, and Maria teasing Cordo to get her to open up the missiles as well. That was funny.
Yeah. I have one more missile left, and I know exactly where I want to put it.
Well, I've got... Funny that, because I've got plenty.
Well, that's a shame, because I got plenty.
Oh, so good.
No, I loved it, and I like, too, the... It actually makes Cardovan look, like, a bit more formidable. Obviously, as, like, a military general, as she should. We were like noticing exactly what they were doing and reacting.
Yeah, she saw.
So I like that. It was a nice touch.
Really was sticking out like a sore thumb out of the side of the ship.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I was actually quite surprised. It didn't actually seem that obvious to me what they were doing. So it was, so that's why it made me seem more impressive because it didn't stick out to a sore
thumb.
Yeah, it did that to me.
Words. I was backing up my words today.
Again, I'm pretty sure I had like a heat exhaustion thing yesterday, so I probably still got a bit from that. And I just closed all my windows and stuff because the cicadas are going off their head, so I wanted to keep them quiet.
Yes.
So.
Hey, we got the army invasion.
Hey!
Combat ready.
Hi guys.
Woo!
How was the boob cast?
Yeah. I imagine. No, I just can't. I'm done. I can't speak.
You can't speak?
I'm trying. I'm not doing too well, but I'm trying.
Hello, podcasters. We've only just, 20 minutes in, but we're just still talking about the meg fight at the start, so you haven't missed much. It's a noob army invasion.
Yeah.
Thank you for the retweet.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, so just talk about the mech fight in Cordovan. Very, very nicely seeing what they're planning and stopping that quite quickly. And then shooting them back, shooting down the ship with the electric dust, which is actually funny because I thought that what was going to happen with Maria was going to happen that first time back in episode 10.
That was only a small shot. Thanks, Corey. I think because this one was more of a really charged shot of the electric dust, so that's why it affected, I think, Maria more this time.
I would have thought of it just because it was a bit more of a direct shot. Actually hit them
that
kind
too.
of.
Yeah, well, they were pretty close to it. They were flying down the barrel of the gun, basically. Yeah. They get shot with the electricity.
Then Oscar had to take control, but Oscar's farm boy. He does. He's never done anything like Atlas is probably the farthest thing from him.
Aim
You
for
could
the
possibly
host.
Atlas, anything Elysian, probably the furthest thing from Oscar. Yeah, you could possibly think of. So
Yeah.
thankfully
It's-
the ship.
Yeah.
No, go.
I was gonna say, and I mentioned in my reaction as well, so it would be a good time for Osborn to come help, right, at this moment, but...
Break his leg.
Yeah,
Thanks, Corey.
I'm very happy with also how they're doing that and how when Osborn does come back, it'll be a big moment.
Yeah, which I think will probably be in chapter 13, but we'll get to our predictions with that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But thankfully the ship crashes, but isn't completely wrecked. Seemingly still works after the wreck.
Yes.
But Crow comes in to make sure everyone's all right. Maria's eyes are almost falling out of her head.
They're not good.
Yeah, I don't know if Osborn's coming back anytime soon.
I'm hoping he will in chapter 13, but there's still a possibility that he won't.
Yeah. I mean, Shannon's coming to Sydney Supernova, so it'd be cool if he showed up one more time. Cool if he came up one more time before the finale. But it was actually funny on RWBY Rewind earlier this season. Now he was kind of discussing how, unlike many other characters, he doesn't really know that much about like Ozpin in the we always hear that Yang and Bob and Aaron, Lindsay and Cara, they kind of know a lot of what's going to happen going forward, and obviously Casey and Jeff know a lot of what's going forward because they do the music, and then and then you hear obviously Miles and Kerry know everything, obviously them and Gray, and maybe Eddie as well, who's the law archivist or whatever his title is now. But yeah, Shannon I think wasn't even aware of all this stuff as he's doing. He kind of gets fed the lines and kind of does them. So that's interesting how much he actually knows about Ozpin. But yeah, Ozpin's still not back, and now RWBY has to kind of make one final plea against Cordovan, much to Crow's disdain, trying to keep.
Thanks for the host back. Yeah, well, with that too, because so the way. Oh, that's okay. The way with how Crow looks at RWBY when he goes to grab her to stop her, and RWBY gives him this look and tells him to trust her, and just the look on Crow's face, it still makes me think maybe he's remembering something from maybe with Summer. It's just the look of shock on his face when he sees her look.
I've heard that a few times from a few different sources and stuff, from reviewers and etc. And I definitely understand where that's coming from. Yeah. But I almost feel like there's still not enough we know about Summer to kind of assume that.
No, I thought it was interesting. Just the look of shock on his face with her when she looked at him. No, I
definitely understand. I definitely think there is something there. But I guess just for me personally, it's one of those things where until we do know the details, I'm not going to insert those things in. Yeah. But by all means, I'm not saying everyone else can't. Of course not. Again, and I think that definitely will make sense eventually. But we still don't even know that much about Summer. Yeah. Yet. But regardless, he just wants to protect RWBY one way or the other, regardless if it's because of Summer or just because of who RWBY is. But because of who RWBY is, she has to go forward and try one last time to talk Cordovan out of this whole thing and kind of explain the situation one more time and kind of be very forward about how we didn't want to steal with you. You didn't really give us a choice. You didn't even hear us out. You wouldn't even give us a time of day. Yeah. Exactly. And everyone's looking on very proudly.
Well, good, Artful. How you doing? Welcome.
I think
you haven't missed much. Yeah, there's tree dodge. Yeah, it is possible too. And I think we're going to get a Stark flashback at some point, probably through Volume 7. I think we're slowly leading up to it. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and we still got I don't think it'll happen next episode, but we still have the Time Raven we could go to at some point, even if it's future later in volumes, but we know that that's a tease thing, whether it happens or not. But that's something that we can draw off if we ever do a Stark flashback. We'd have RWBY talking to Crow, and then we have Ty talking to Raven, and then
maybe
we can get a back and forth flashback from both sides telling the story.
I don't think we're gonna get it in chapter 13, but probably
no. I said we're not. Yeah, no, I think I'm saying that's just because we don't get it doesn't mean that it's like a scrapped concept they're not gonna use. They might be just because they've done plenty of things where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna plant the seed for next volume. We couldn't put it in there. Let's do it the volume after.
Next one,
because they really do only have so much limited time to work with RWBY. Despite the big story they're trying to tell.
So RWBY was giving her inspirational speech there to Gordo Bitch. who, of course, didn't, was like, no, I've heard enough. Didn't work. Which RWBY was kind of expecting, you know, but we'll try. Try and talk her out, like giving you one final chance. Nope. And then, of course, points the gun right in her face. I love this bit with RWBY. Like, I just want to add it to my list of badass moments for RWBY. She has so many badass moments.
To me, it was just the music. I think the music made it.
The music was so good.
The music made it as good as it is, I think.
Yeah, it did. And just the animation of her and sort of turning to rose petals and sort of swirling around inside the gun as well was so cool. And yeah, and she shot her Crescent Rose right inside the middle of the gun, right as she was charging up the looked like electricity dust. And shot and then flew backwards and of course destroyed the gun. Yeah,
rupturing all the dust cartridges in the system.
You can see all the
rock and ice and just basically weighing it down and making it redundant. And then aura damage, I don't think broken, but just quite heavily damaged.
It looked like, I'm not sure.
It didn't
Sound.
It didn't wipe away. It was like glitching.
Yeah, it was very close to breaking if it didn't break. I thought it broken, but it may not have. And why she used the gravity glyphs too in that moment to slow her descent down. Yeah.
And she herself wanted to use the last of her aura pool as well because she collapsed after that. So we'll see if that's significant or not. Was that Dodge? I'm not too sure if they'll do a full volume. Like I wouldn't mind if they one point did like what they did in Red vs. Blue season 14, where they have a whole season that is just spin-off stories or flashbacks and stuff like that. That would be really cool. I just don't know if they'll do it.
I don't think they would do that.
Just because of the limited time they already have with the show.
I could see either a character short or a little spin-off series of a couple episodes separate to the volumes.
Yes, like a spit like what they did with the 3 character shorts in Volume 5, but do that with like a Team Stark miniseries.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
They could either do mid-season or outside or in off-season maybe.
Yeah,
I could see them doing something more. If they're going to focus quite a fair bit of time on Stark, I could see them doing outside of the volume. Yeah.
No, I know what you were. Yeah, I know what you were referring to. Yes. Okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, but I just don't think. I don't think Stark will be that important to the show. The freelancer stuff 9 and 10 was the main story of the show. Was the main story of the show, but we also had to follow the original cast as well. Whereas Stark would be more the opposite, where like our main cast is still the main story, whereas the Stark stuff would be the off-season stuff. But they could do that. But my only problem is when they did something similar to that with Volume 5 with the character shorts, it didn't work too well with the overall production of the rest of the volume. So that'd be a lot of resources going towards that.
Yeah.
Not to say I wouldn't like to see it, but they would have to kind of be in a position where they had a lot of resources to do that. Whereas I think maybe just a big episode, like episode 3 of this volume, where they just have a big flashback episode,
that would be cool.
Might work as well.
Yeah.
But with the flashback, with the Ozpin's past and the Silver Eyes this volume.
As much as we want to know more about Stark, probably in the greater scheme of things, it's not that important to the storyline, but it could become important to the storyline later on. So I think they might even just do it as a spin-off series later on down the track, because they say RWBY's got an ending, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the end of RWBY overall. So then they could do a little spin-off series on Stark and other things as well. So we may not get it during the actual volumes of RWBY. It might be separate.
Yeah. I do think Stark is very important to the series. I do. Just the fact of how is to the main cast now, what we know of Raven,
it needs to be explored at some point, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, 100%, but
I think I just what I mean right at this moment, not so much, but
not amongst Ozpin's past and the Silver Eyes as well.
Yeah,
that's why I definitely didn't think we were going to see it this volume. This is why I didn't think we were going to see the Silver Eyes this volume, because of Ozpin's past.
But I think we're going to get that because what's going to happen next episode, which we'll get to my predictions and everything. But yeah, back to I was going to
say also, but don't also like you said, Larissa, like we don't know how important Stark really is to the overall scheme of the story, and it might in the grand scheme of things, it really might not be that important.
Yeah.
Because I'm not too sure how important it could be.
For us fans, yes. But for the overall storyline, maybe not so much. But
we know that Summer isn't Salem. We know that RWBY knows the Silver Eyes even without the Summer thing. So I don't know how much more important she really could be into the show, apart from drastically changing RWBY as a character. But even then, that's RWBY's importance, not Stark's importance necessarily. But I do think we'll find out possibly in the next 2 volumes, especially because how much of a focus they gave Crow this volume with his arc.
Yeah.
That I think it's a possibility. We know we have the tease of Ty and Raven.
And even Raven said to RWBY, "You're so much like your mother," sort of thing.
And
with that
we do,
line.
and we do have the Silver Eyes stuff explored. So there is enough in the air to kind of thing.
Yeah, could be a talk about it in the future, possibly. Yeah.
I don't think Raven needs a redemption arc, because I don't think Raven needs redemption. I don't think Raven's that bad.
She'll come back into the
She's
story.
She's a bad mother.
But,
she's a bad mother, sure, but that doesn't mean she's a bad guy. I've never thought Raven was a bad guy. She made her choices.
Yeah.
For good or worse, but that doesn't make her a bad person. I've never thought Raven was a villain, for example.
No, I don't really see her as a villain, more that she just does things for what she sees as her benefit and the benefit of the tribe. I definitely see her coming back into the story at some point. Maybe even helping the gang, but...
I would hope so. I'm not sure. I also wouldn't be surprised if we don't really see much of Raven, in terms of, like the final battle. Raven might not necessarily be a part of it. But I'm really not sure where they're going to go with the whole finale of the entire series,
Gosh, yeah.
I remember thinking back around Volume 4 and 5 that it might be just a small covert operation into a castle. I have no idea what the hell they're actually going to...
Don't know. Yeah.
I agree. She's definitely... Yeah.
Anywho, we should get back to chapter 12 before we get too railroaded.
But thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you for the questions. We're just recapping, and I know we're gonna get lost.
But yeah, the mech's basically down, and then they they decide, well, let's get out of here as quickly as we can. But during this time, also we flash back over to the Bumblebee and Adam fight.
Before we get into Bumblebee and Adam, I do think we should probably just recap on the last bit with the mech, because we probably will forget about it once we get into the whole Bumblebee stuff. But yeah, then Cordori's like telling the Argus Bay to all forces converge in my position. They're like, we've been trying to get hold of you, and we did see a little section.
Yeah, we saw them try to do that before Maria interrupted.
Yes.
Murtacha with the missile up the arse.
Yes.
About earlier. Sorry, things at once.
Yeah, and then it turns out there's this giant Leviathan heading towards Argus. There's all these wind grim in the air. Everyone's panicking.
Yeah, a bunch of Manticore and Sphinxes.
Yes. And they're like, well, we need you. And she's like, well, shit. My gun's destroyed. The shields are broken. She's not going to be much use against that Grim. And that's when I think everyone sort of was like, yeah, we did cover that.
But just to recap, because I don't know if I said too much on it.
I spoke
but
about it,
I really liked it. The music made it a lot to me. Cardoven's expressions is really well. Her animation made it look really cool. And I love Jean's little line. I remember someone telling me that's a very anime cliche thing to kind of explain what is actually happening in the moment. But I really like that. It didn't seem cliche to me at all. I just loved, again, John being the strategist and him. We also got to mention too, I like that it was Oscar's idea, but John was the one who was like, that's brilliant, because he is the strategist. So he was the one who was kind of praising Oscar for strategy that John didn't come up with. And obviously John and Aura's auras are both broken as well from last episode. We saw them come back in and reunite with Ren. That was a nice little moment as well. Ren's expressions and his reactions to everything. Or even nice. Or we yelled no when they got hit last episode. Something that's definitely easily overlooked, but I really like Ren's reactions.
No, Nate's still been killing it with voice acting. He always has so much emotion in his voice. It's really good.
Yeah.
Just short little lines, but they're always perfect.
So all that stuff was really cool. And obviously, now we have the stuff going into next episode, and I think maybe we should touch on predictions a little bit now, just because we're at the end of the episode.
Yeah, we can, and then we'll get into Bumblebee
because I don't see Bumblebee playing much of a role in next episode.
No,
I think they'll kind of just show up to reunite everyone at the last minute. I don't think they'll necessarily be involved with the final fight.
I thought, depending where exactly they are, they might be closer to the city, so I thought they might help some people, evacuating and whatnot, might help in the city, and then join the team and near the end. That was sort of my thoughts, Yeah,
my prediction would be that after the fight, they kind of get back to the radio tower, which is which is like overlooking the city, and like they're walking arm in arm, like what, like, you know, Yang's got Blake over her shoulder, kind of dragging her back to the town. You always laugh at stuff I don't think you laugh at, it throws me off.
Sorry.
It's alright, it's alright. Yeah, and then they don't realize what's happening until they get there, because they've just walked back.
I think they'll hear the Grimm
the town.
at some point, because RWBY and the gang could hear it.
That's true.
So
I mean, yeah, that's true. As for the Leviathan Grimm, not one of my favorite Grimm designs.
I thought it looked cool. I think I need to wait till we see it fighting a bit more for it to really grow on me.
Maybe it's just his animation, not the design of it, but it just, I don't know, wasn't my favorite thing. Like, my favorite Grimm is the Manticore, and I love that they were flying over the city with the Sphinxes, because I love the Manticore so much. I love to see more of the Manticores.
Yes. Well, I think with the Leviathan, I really need to wait till we see it fighting.
It's meant to be like Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I made that joke in the new army.
Godzilla.
Pacific Rim.
Godzilla kind of thing.
Oh, good. I put that as the title for the stream today. Pacific Rim. Never mind.
Damn it. I think maybe everyone else knows too.
Yeah, I think that'll help with the city and then make the way to the town.
I have no problem with that, but that's just what I think. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. This should, like, I know I don't really care about episode length, and considering how good they've done with shorter episodes this volume.
They haven't announced the thumbnail and stuff yet, have they?
I'll double check.
I'll check the
But
Discord.
obviously, a big criticism is obviously still the length of the episodes, and I think this volume is significantly shorter than the last volume. I believe.
Yeah.
No, still no word on the title or anything like that yet. But
nothing in the Discord.
One thing that I think this episode will have to do is be very long.
Yeah, it will be, because it's got the credits as well anyway. So
like this, like, I'm not saying it will be, but this could be like a 30-minute episode, I'm hoping.
I'm hoping it's like 40 minutes, so we've got the intro at the start and then like 5 minutes of credits at the end, so it's a good 30 minutes for the episode.
I think that's very ambitious, but I think
I'm hoping,
considering how short these episodes have been leading up to this, the fact that this was assumingly going to be a two-parter, but they've cut it into one, I hope it's just kind of like, because I remember back when they did Camp, the finale of season 2, they were like, oh, we really want to have 13 episodes this year, but our producers won't let us do it. Fine, we'll just make a double length for episode 12. So I'm hoping that that's maybe what they've done with this instead. And maybe rather than, and I think we discussed this back when they announced the 13 episode thing.
Yeah.
That rather than, it might not be a resource issue that they're doing 13 episodes, but it might be just a production thing. Like, they wanted to have Genlock and RWBY come out either one after the other or the same day.
Yeah.
And, they pushed Genlock back a week. But obviously they couldn't really, they had to have that break for RWBY. So rather than having RWBY bleed into Genlock, they'll just have it one super long episode instead.
I think also, because we spoke about with Volume 5's finale and how chapters sort of 13 and 14 could have been just the one episode. Yeah. And I think that's part of what they've decided with Volume 6 as well. Rather than splitting the into two episodes, let's just do it in one big episode, which is probably what they should have done with 13 and 14. Because, would have been a lot better having it as one. Yeah,
because I think one of the weirdest things, or RWBY finales tend to follow this trend of start with the fight, end with the story.
Yeah.
And they've done that with... They did the opposite in Volume 1. They did the opposite of that. The story, then fight. Then 2, 3, 4, they had fight half the episode, then story stuff. Yeah. And in Volume 5, they did that same thing, but they split into 2 episodes, and it just did not work as well.
No, it didn't.
Because they had 13, which was the actual final fight, and they just had 14.
And then it just was like, it didn't have that expectation.
It had a bit of a flat ending. So, I'm hoping they've done the same here.
It makes sense, because I think we're going to start off with this big Grimm and then have a bit of story after it, but we'll see, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't go as far to say 40 minutes, but if it is like a two-parter in one episode, then...
Well, they've been around 15 minutes each, give or take, so that's why I was thinking 30 minutes for the episode plus like 5 minutes at the end for the credits and whatnot, so... I
guess that's true. I guess when you put it like that way, that makes it more understandable. But regardless, I think at this point with RWBY Volume 6, the episode length really shouldn't indicate the quality of an episode, because
Well,
obviously,
I think with how they've done it too, though, like the episodes that make sense in a way too. Like they ended them at sort of moments which made sense for the end them at that moment. And some people would complain about cliffhangers, but really they weren't necessarily cliffhangers because we knew it was going to lead into something else.
Yeah, and also at this point, like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Why is that something you're still complaining about?
It's making you wanting to see the next episode. It's not like leaving like with I think it was chapter 11 of volume 5 with Weiss getting stabbed. That was a bad cliffhanger. Okay, that was a cliffhanger.
Yeah, but that was a good cliffhanger because you didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah,
well, I think a bad
that's
cliffhanger,
a typical cliffhanger
is when it just feels like I guess Gira coming out as like the Werepanther was kind of a bad cliffhanger because it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Like that, a cliffhanger was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Weiss getting stabbed, I think, was a good.
I mean, it was a good cliffhanger. That's what I mean. Sorry, it was good.
It was a harsh cliffhanger.
It was a harsh one. That was a cliffhanger. Harsh. Leaving it with just Egg and Yang standing, holding hands. That wasn't a cliffhanger. And people say it was a cliffhanger. No, you know they're going to fight Adam. That's not a cliffhanger.
And considering everyone after that episode was already like Bumblebee confirmed, it wasn't a cliffhanger because all the Bumblebees got what they fucking wanted. So how do you call that a cliffhanger when people got what they wanted? But
I was going to mention I've got Bumblebee earrings and I was going to wear them, but I haven't put them in. Aren't they cute? I've been wearing them all week.
But in terms of like final predictions, I guess I would say it's probably
right.
Obviously, this is the Trial by Fire, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the episode title.
Oh yeah, that would be good because Maria was saying like for RWBY to get practice with her silver eyes, it'll be a trial by fire. This is a good example, except RWBY's aura pretty much depleted.
True, but silver eyes don't have anything to do with one's aura. Seemingly,
she has to get close to it.
Well, she'll do the same thing she did with the mech. Just fly straight into it and jump out and see like, sure.
I probably get that really winged look with the silver eyes. That'd be really cool from Volume 3. Yeah, that's true, Dodge. Yeah. There you go, there's your cliffhangers. I should actually do a post like cliffhangers and RWBY and just having like RWBY and like hanging off the cliffs. That's great. Should do that.
Yeah, so I think the trial by fire thing with RWBY using a silver eyes and kind of like fighting the grid. I really don't know, because I really don't know how this is going to end. If this is going to end with them finally leaving for Atlas, it's going to end with them saving Argus. Like I really don't know what this ending. I really don't know what.
I think it's going to end with them saving Argus. At least I hope it's going to end with them saving Argus. And then next, Volume 7 is going to be the start of them again, them heading to Atlas. Like
but let's also remember, there was a lot of Sphinx and Manticores coming in. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends with just Argus being destroyed.
Well, that's it. It could definitely.
They don't, like, no one has to necessarily be dying in terms of our main cast. But,
I think we may lose a minor character, or a character's going to be really severely injured.
Yeah, I could see, like, Maria. I could see, like, Maria possibly going. I could see Crow, but I feel like he's already kind of been redeemed.
I feel like we're going to be keeping Crow.
I don't think it's going to be yet. Yeah. Obviously, could easily be one of the Cotter arcs. There's a possibility.
I hope not. I love them.
I'd like to see a scene where, like, maybe Jean is, like, just standing in that park and is just protecting the statue.
Protect the statue! Protect!
From any of the Grim, like that's just where he's like stationed, where he's kind of like protecting things from. Which would actually be a nice callback to when he was fighting in Volume 2 in the city center, with Piero looking on. But this time it'd just be like a spirit looking on at a similar kind of location. Then like an Ursa just comes out of nowhere from Vale. It's like, you're not meant to be around here. This isn't Vale. But Ursa dead.
I just had a horrible thought that what if like if a character is injured and they end up being in that park looking after the character that's injured. Oh, I just had that horrible thought. With underneath the Fuhrer statue.
Yeah.
No, if it's Ren or Nora or even Jean. Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe the redhead woman will show back up, but I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to be seeing her again. Well, maybe, but I don't think so.
Maybe. But I think, I really don't know. I really don't know what to go on with this episode. My only prediction is that it's going to be called Trial by Fire. That'd be my only prediction.
That would be cool. I like that. And if RWBY doesn't destroy the Leviathan, maybe she could help destroy some of those other Grimm, the smaller ones. but with the Silver Eyes. But either way, I think the Silver Eyes is going to play a really important part in the episode. I think someone's going to be really severely injured, if not killed. Argus partly destroyed. Hopefully not, but I could see that happening. I don't want it to happen, but I can see it happening. And maybe something happening with the Pyrrha statue. Maybe that's where they end up or something. But
I just realized the irony of how many times Argus had like earthquake-like moments during the past few episodes. Like, well, it is San Francisco. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You think all the people would just be used to that by now.
Well, no wonder the Grimm are attracted to the city, because Cordo was crashing against the cliff at one page, and you can see the city like freaking out and screaming. So
I'm really glad they did. Obviously, that's something that a lot of people were predicting, but it's something that, like, you know, given previous times they've done stuff like this, they haven't always kept the continuity where, like, you know, panic should always attract Grimm, but doesn't always. So I'm glad that they kind of did that, and it was kind of like last minute just invasions, like, oh shit, they actually did it, and they've done it like that. Crazy.
Yep.
So interesting to see definitely where they go.
And Cordo's not going to be much help with the mech, because the mech's basically the guns destroyed. You can't hardly move.
One thing I am hoping to see is the group kind of split into two here, where, like, say, for example, I'm just trying to think how to kind of split the two groups. Say, RWBY and a few others kind of, the first thing they do is they immediately jump over to the mech and try to break it free.
Oh yeah,
they
could try.
And try to fix it. But the other people, like, don't do it. You know, like, she's just gonna attack us, you know, kind of thing. Like, I'd like to see that dissension between them. Like,
I don't know if they'll be able to fix it.
Do we at least get Cordovan, like, up and able to actually help in some degree, or they just leave her there?
Yeah.
I'd really like to see, like, two different, like, splits. You know, like, Jean against it, but then, say, for example, like, RWBY is for it, kind of thing. But we'll see where that goes. But of course,
that's pretty full predictions.
Yeah. It's really it's really hard to predict here. But then we move back to the Bumblebee stuff.
And how Adam's trying to undermine them again, and so, you know, Blake used to said that she was going to stand by his side, and look where she is now. Yang's line with the whole is that the person that you were pretending to be. I love all those lines, how Yang and Blake are standing up for each other here against him, and Adam is just trying to do everything he can to undermine them, and it's not working.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, this isn't anything surprising for me to say, but I don't. Well, I say this isn't surprising for me to say, not for him to say. For me to say that, you know, I kind of felt like he had points.
Yeah, well, he had some points there, but also, like.
But again, if you were on the basket case of Adam is nothing but a manipulator, never actually cared, then obviously Yang's line makes a lot more sense. But I'm of mind that he was a manipulator, but wasn't always one.
Yeah, well, so it's possible.
Again, and all the stuff that I've defended about Adam, not defended about Adam, because again, Adam is not redeemable. Ruby. Adam is not justifiable.
I'm combat ready.
Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Yay! How was your stream? I didn't even get a shout out for back. I just had such a slack. Hang on, let me fix that up. You keep talking. Do things.
So yeah, like he's not justifiable. He's not unredeemable. But I'm just always, I don't know. I get tired of talking about Adam to a degree.
I was reading something today about it.
I feel like I'm a broken record at this point.
So I only died twice and Sunless say, oh, that's pretty good then. I'm glad you had fun. So yeah, I was reading something about Adam today, and actually I've got it up because I retweeted it. It wasn't really anything spoilerish, but it was just about Adam. Where is it? Because a lot of people have been saying that like they've been romanticizing Adam and all of this, and there was this post here. So it just says, I'll read it out in full, but it says, okay. Adam never cared about fullness rights in volume 1 to 3 either. If you go back to the way he formulated everything, he always said, it was always been in the trend of, I want humanity to pay. Never, I want equality, I want a better life for my people. Always, they need to suffer. He doesn't care about fullness, and he never did. He only cares about the people who wronged him are hurt. which is exactly what he projects onto Blake as well. He's been very consistently written character, but for some reason people keep romanticizing him in their heads. Maybe it's because you wanted to like him, or thought his design was cool, or found him attractive, and you twist him in over your head because of it. But he's always been a terrible person from the start, but a good character. What he ended up becoming Volume 6, and always has been consistent with what he was before. So I thought that had lots of good points in it. That he was a selfish, tortured, broken soul who crippled others and never did right by his people because of his rage. And that goes with the brand of the SDC on his face. He was branded, he hated humanity for that, and there was always humanity needed to pay, which fitted under Sienna's rule of the White Fang and wanting violence against humanity. And he just twisted that into his own means. Yeah. So I read that today. I thought that was very good with Adam's character. And I don't like Adam, but I like his character. And you're not meant to like Adam. It's manipulative and it's horrible.
And that's the thing. Like I don't like Adam, but I just and I know I've said this 100 times. But again, I enjoy the show if I enjoy every aspect of it. I don't enjoy I don't enjoy hating something. I don't. I love to hate someone like that. I don't believe in that. Me personally. So I always prefer just to justify people as much as I can.
No props, Ken. Thank you for the raid. Have a good day or night. I think it's night for you.
Yeah. Like here's the thing too.
Dodge. Yeah.
Here's something too. I also kind of thought of recently. I think Adam, although his methods obviously are horrible, everything about him I think is justifiable and is kind of understandable. I'll say not just understandable. I can understand everything where he's coming from, but that doesn't include his relationship with Blake. I think that's something completely different.
Well, I think it's twisted over time to become an obsession, because he's under the obsession that he can have her and no one else can have her, then she may as well die. So, no one else can have her.
Well, no, but my point is that, like, all of his, like, fauna stuff, all of his, like, wants revenge stuff, all of his justice stuff, I think that's all understandable. That's all, even to a degree, justifiable, considering, like, his possible backstory with, like, his branded and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't have anything to do with why he is with Blake. He
wanted to kill Blake's family. Different. And he threatened her back in Volume 3 as well, saying, I will hunt down and kill everyone that you love. Sort of, that's why she ran away.
But that's what I'm saying, is that... no, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, is that doesn't have anything to do with that. Like, his mindset and his attitude towards the fairness and humanity is completely different from his relationship with Blake. His relationship with Blake is solely independent in terms of, like, he's just fucked up because he's just fucked up in that regard. The way he treats her, know, all that stuff to do with all fairness and stuff isn't like, if you take the relationship away from Adam, if Adam never was been with Blake, I think he'd be a much more understandable character. Because, he's just doing what he thinks is right, even if it's wrong, that's what he thinks is right. So I can at least see where he's coming from. Whereas the stuff with Blake is dark, it's horrible, it's disgusting, it's wrong.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, everyone hates Adam just because he's this abuser in a relationship. He's just this abuser in a relationship, and I think that's 100% like.
I get what you mean. I still think the two are closely linked. And Of course, it's just how he's twisted the relationship as well. Yeah. Regardless, what he wants, not what she wants.
Yeah. No, I know that. And regardless, I really like Adam as a character. I really like what he brought to the show. And
I like him as a character too.
If anything else, I'm just glad that people will stop complaining about him now that he's not here.
Well, I think they probably still will complain about him at least for a little while. But it's been an end to his story arc, and as we discussed in the previous Corner of Remnant stream as well, is that he didn't really have anything else to give in his story now. We know his background, we know the motives behind the way he is. His semblance was even reconfirmed as well, and everything. So we knew, no, he's definitely dead. So with that, like, not only, if you watch it closely, after, like, being stabbed, which we'll go into more detail in a second, and the blade's drawn out, causing even more damage, he was stabbed in the chest and the stomach, so these are very vital parts of the body. not just to the side. um,
Honestly, I don't think this needs justification. He's dead.
yeah, but I was going to say...
He got stabbed twice, broke his back over a rock, and fell into a river and drowned. Like, it's...
to say, when he's kneeling on the side of the cliff, he takes a breath, his eyes roll up in his head, and he doesn't even grunt when he hits the rock ledge. So he was dead from when his eyes rolled up in his head. That was it. He was dead at that moment. Yeah. Then he hit the rock, and then he fell in the water. So he's definitely dead. They even showed him basically dying in that moment before he fell forward.
Yeah, like Cinder was different. She was frozen, then we didn't see what happened to her.
That's it.
Different.
And she's got the maiden powers, and she could survive that. Well, she wasn't like stabbed in the chest and the stomach. And fell off a cliff.
And Cinder's always been a cockroach.
Exactly.
Cinder just can't be killed. I just don't think. Somehow, just by the grace of the God of Darkness, Cinder just can't be killed.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
Yeah.
But
I loved this whole sort of the fight scene with Adam. You have Blake and Yang really helping each other fighting Adam. They're working together. They did the reverse Bumblebee, which I love. But then they got separated with Blake smashing against the rock face using her aura and scrambling to get back up the rock face with Yang facing Adam. And that line with Adam saying, do you think you're faster than you were at Beacon?
Love that line. Love that line.
And
love that
Yang's hand shaking and I was like, me neither.
I love that song.
I loved it, even though it was horrible, but I loved that. I thought, you asshole sort of thing.
And that's what I mean. Where it comes to, like, if a character is evil or good, to me it doesn't matter, as long as they're enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
So I know that sounds heartless of me to say. So I know how bad Adam is. I know all the implications he has.
Yeah.
But I can differ between fiction and reality. A lot of people seemingly can't. But that's just me.
So I really liked that. And then Yang activating his semblance right at the last right moment. She very obviously didn't have much left.
Even before that, we got a few other nice bits of lines and stuff. Like Adam was just like, he was, Yang is again was fighting this a lot smarter, especially at this point after like a little episode where she was just a bit more like reserved because of PTSD in this moment. And Adam was just obviously because he gets powered up through strikes and stuff, like he was egging Yang on to keep fighting him so he can get more power. And that cowardly action, just invokes the same reactions that cowardly fighting style has that same reaction to Adam as it did to Blake. The same way that it's like, what does she even see in you again? And like then obviously you're just a coward like her.
I forgot about that line. Sorry. Yeah. What does she even see in you? And he's really angry at this point. You can tell he's really gone off the rails.
Yeah. And again, much like how Volume 5 was a reverse parallel flip of Volume 3. This was the same thing from Volume 3 as well, where it's like Adam was the aggressor this time and Yang was the reserved one. So I really like the how they keep paralleling Volume 3 and they kept flipping the roles around whenever it's like Blake and Adam and like Yang and Adam. Yeah. I really like how they're doing that. And it's like, what does she even see in you? It's like you're both just cowards. So that's what you see in each other. You're both cowards. Goes in for the strike, caught. Semblance.
You see Yang's red eyes just before it happens.
Yeah, just before the explosion, and even in the impact, you see amongst the smoke, you see the flames amongst the yellow smoke.
Her hair looks so amazing. I loved how it was animated. It looks so good because some people were a little unsure how it looked in the new engine. Yeah, but I thought it looked really good.
If it wasn't my favorite thing in the world, it wasn't what I was expecting at least when they finally did it. But I did like it enough. I did. And then obviously massive hit, but also grabbing the sword at the same time.
Yeah, punching Adam away.
Adam's aura breaking and the impact. And then again, it's like I don't have to be faster, but I'm smarter.
Yeah, that's
obviously having the and she ran out of aura, so semblance turned off, which is probably good for her in the long run. So that way she kind of got refocused because in her semblance, she kind of, I don't think she can kind of like act normally. She's in this like really aggressive state. So luckily for her semblance ran out, aura ran out, deactivating her semblance. And then it's like I'm smarter. I don't need to be faster than you because without your weapon, you're obviously not as not as good without your weapon. Throws it away.
I just want to mention here too. Sorry, some of the chat messages aren't coming through. This happened to me the other night. That's why I'm just keeping an eye on the chat bot and the Twitch thing. So hopefully they'll come through.
I'm looking at the pop out.
Yeah. So some are showing the Twitch chat, some are actually showing in the chat bot. But yes, Art was I think one affects the other. Dodge, these moments were great. But yes, Yang's semblance in May of Volume 6 is awesome. Arthur also said, "Is he dead though?" Which we responded to. Yeah.
Yeah, Biv, and again, you could be right. I understand. It is very tiring talking about Adam because I do have an unpopular opinion. I get that. No, that's what I mean. A lot of the times when I have an opinion, it's not in direct opposition to other people's opinions. I very rarely say something with the intention of, "Oh, this is my opinion, therefore yours is wrong." I know that a lot of people disagree with Adam, and that's fine because people who hate Adam enjoy the show because they love to hate Adam. Because that's his character. He's meant to be hated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Therefore, you enjoy the show. I don't enjoy media like that. I enjoy media by loving every aspect of it, so I justify things to enjoy the show more. So, me defending Adam isn't me in any way actually, in realism, defending Adam. It's just me enjoying the show more than I would otherwise. If I hated Adam... I just don't have that whole love to hate mentality. I don't have that. So I have to find an alternative. But if you hate Adam for the right reasons, which there aren't many wrong reasons to be fair.
Yeah. Hey Smash.
Then that's that's obviously good. I'm not saying it's bad at all.
Yeah.
So I missed a few of the chat messages. I'm just looking over some of the other ones.
That's right. I'm just give me a second. I'm just reopening up string labels and resetting everything. Apple said, "I love RWBY so much this volume." Dodge said, "I love how she looks. Seeing her use her semblance for the first time since volume 3, having that finish off Adam's aura was amazing." But can someone kill Cinder alive permanently and never return, even in Ghost Bomb, please? Yes.
And that's the thing too with Yang's semblance is that it didn't feel like. I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like I was expecting it. It didn't feel like it was definitely going to happen, and it didn't feel like, oh, it's been so long since we've seen it. It felt so natural, really natural. Where it's like, oh my god, we haven't seen this in 3 volumes. I didn't even realize that, kind of thing. We hadn't seen it in so long. And that's the thing. Adam is a really good villain. Yeah, I think because you have characters like Emerald and Mercury, which are kind of like, you can, maybe not so much Mercury these days, but like Emerald, it's hard to hate, even though Emerald, even, Penny's my favorite character, and, Emerald killed Penny, in a sense.
Yeah.
So, but even then, it's still hard to hate Emerald, because of the position she's in. She's, again, much more understandable, and I understand if you don't have that same understanding for Adam, but it's just one of those things where it's like, it depends how you enjoy the show and how you interpret things. In real life, 100% hate anyone like Adam. Hate anyone like Adam in real life. But when you're watching a show,
people like that.
when you're watching a show that you're meant to enjoy, I would prefer to enjoy it in any way I could. But again, that's just me. And I thought the character short did a lot to kind of make Adam just a more kind of cool character to kind of enjoy.
We see a bit of more of his backstory and how he's sort of evolved over time as well, which was really good. Which is sort of important to come to the where we are now. Yeah.
But then back to the episode. Everyone's disarmed, everyone's aura's broken. They all kind of reach for Game Boy Shroud, and
before they get to that, I loved how when Yang threw Adam's sword and Blake jumped up, then she was climbing up the cliff face, and Yang had seen her and jumped up and just punched Adam. I love that. It's like
I keep going back to watch that scene because I always get confused because at times it looks like she's above them.
Yeah.
But then she ends up somehow underneath him to uppercut him. So, I don't know, maybe
she jumped across at one stage. So she's climbing up the outside, then jumped up to the bridge
side.
It's
like she climbed up above them, jumped across, and then went back under to uppercut. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's something I just missed or whatever.
It was a little hard to see because I was chopping in between the two. But yeah.
And then I think one of the... And I remember I'd written something up for this next little bit. Let me just find that.
Unless she's changed, but his impact on the series is amazing. Absolutely, he's had a real impact on both Blake and Yang, and they needed this to. They need to defeat him to end the story arc and further develop them. So
and I've said it before, whereas Adam is his own character isn't much, but he adds so much to other characters he interacts with, and that was his importance. He added so much to the darkness of the world and also the
Yep.
deepness of the world that it has, and also adds to Blake and Yang as characters. You know, without Adam, I think Blake and Yang, like, again, Blake and Yang aren't my favorite characters, especially of Team RWBY. But what I do really like about them is their stories of Adam. That's what makes me really like them as characters.
Yep.
Just
And
what
how
they
they come together.
Adam.
And supporting each other. Not just shipping, but I mean just supporting each other as friends and
100%.
teammates.
I still don't believe any of this confirms the ship, but people obviously jump to conclusions.
The ship hasn't left the port yet, but it's getting ready to leave the port.
Of course, and again, like that, and that's awesome. Again, I've said it. I have no problem with Bumblebee. I just don't really care for.
I think the fandom is hyping up the ship a little too much. I understand the excitement, but it hasn't sailed quite yet.
It's just too much of a for me. It's too much of a good thing gets annoying, and that's what the fandom has done to me for Bumblebee.
Yeah,
which is why I just prefer Black Sun. One, I like Sun more than I like Yang.
Yeah, I love
and
all of them.
And I like how much on-screen chemistry those two had.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm in any way opposed to Bumblebee. Yes.
Yeah, so I can definitely see Bumblebee becoming more if things become more romantic as we go on. But at this moment, something's definitely there. They want to protect each other, absolutely, and I think it's just going to blossom over time. But for now,
and I think, I know I'm going to get a bit of flack for this, and I don't want to say it, but I also just want to. I think I've said it before. I want to get it off my chest a little bit. Is that I like. How do I? Okay, now I've just confused myself in what I want to say. I feel like at times. You know what? Never mind.
We'll just leave it.
Never mind.
No, the thing with Volume 5 with Adam. Okay, so that fight, Volume 5 with Adam, he was not in control. So he lost control of that situation, and that's why he ran. Because he lost control. He still had control throughout the majority of this fight with Blake and Yang. And he was undermining them to remain in control of the situation. But they, in the end, they defeated him. But he was in control for most of it. And that's, Well, with Volume 5, he wasn't. He lost control.
It was the opposite of what they did in Volume 3. Where this time it was Blake in control, and Adam was the one that's kind of like off his feet.
Yep.
Whereas obviously in Volume 3 it was the opposite way. Yep. Because, you know, in theory, like, you know, Blake should have put up more of a fight in Volume 3, but no one complains about that.
No. Jill's shocked.
Which Adam was the same way in Volume 5.
Yeah.
But even then, like, you know, Adam mentioned in this fight, you know, talking to Blake, you know, you didn't think you could win 2-on-1 at Haven with Sun, so why do you think you can do it now?
Yeah.
You know, so even though he ran away, like, he still
thinks he won that fight because.
Well, no, I just think he didn't think he would have lost that fight because, you know, he was obviously going away, you know, to fight them, at least in his mind, you know. But obviously, and Blake knew that, and that's why Blake was like, "No, let's not go after him," because he's just trying to get us split up, you know, which means we couldn't win 2-on-1, and you know, and Adam, you know, to a degree, was thinking he could do the same thing here.
Yeah.
So there are three really cool things I liked about this next scene. With Adam's death, is like I really like that. First off, the RWBY actually killed him. Yeah, it wasn't a Beauty and the Beast Gaston. It wasn't a last minute redemption in death kind of thing. He didn't accidentally fall to his death. He didn't die trying to save people. He just was killed. He didn't get eaten by a Grim. He was just killed. Yeah, and props for them for doing that. Because I just really appreciate they just did that. Because it was conclusive, it avenged Adam for all of his wrongs he had done, and I really like it. The second point is that, I guess, in hindsight, I don't understand this really, but I like the fact that Blake and Yang actually murdered a man.
Yeah, they actually murdered someone. I know Adam was who he was, but they killed a person.
Yeah, and the reason why I don't think this is as shocking as it should be is because remember the world they live in. Yeah. They go to schools to kill things. Yeah. You know, this is a very dark world, and I just don't think that it should have been as surprising as it was. It is funny to think that Yang... This is the first time like Yang has ever used a weapon of any sort in the show other than her fists.
That's true.
And she used it to kill someone. It's like, geez, I'm glad you only have your fist normally. God damn.
She's start wielding a sword.
Yeah. But I really like how they've done that. And I think the best thing about this whole scene, was that despite everything, it still hurt Blake to do that.
Yeah.
It still meant something to kill someone that it meant so much to her at one point.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it showed really well with how she reacted.
Yeah. Again, I'm pretty sure I said that last episode that I wanted Blake to break down after she did that, and I'm kind of glad I'm really glad that as dark as that sounds.
Bye. Thanks for popping on.
Really glad that they did. So yeah.
Just talking about the Adam's death, actually.
Yeah, so I really liked it. Yeah, I just really like how they did that. I really like Blake's reaction after that, and I really like that. And I do really like that. You know, Blake's like, you know, I don't want to break my promise again because,
the messages aren't showing in the chat again.
Because I do think she generally really didn't want to leave Adam. She didn't want to break his promise, but she just felt like she didn't have a choice because of the situation she was in.
Salutations, Princess Penny
Salutations.
Paladina. Yes.
So yeah, but I really like how
really
again she was really upset and distraught by it, but she just wanted to kind of make up for it the best she could. I don't want to break that promise again to you this time. Like she did with the Manticore back on the train.
Yes.
I remember seeing a few people saying that.
That would have been good. But she hit him with Bumblebee. That's enough.
that is true. You should be very surprised if she even did that. But no, I really like how they handled the entire fight, animation wise. This was another thing like I heard, but haven't heard from the official source. Kind of like Blake's ribbon around Adam. I haven't heard the official source on that, but I've heard that might be a thing. Apparently, a lot of the Adam and Yang fight from last episode was actually taken from stuff Monty did for that fight years ago.
Really?
Like prep,
cool.
early stuff he had for that eventual fight.
Oh, nice.
Like stuff like Adam's shadow clones and his like Sheaf strikes against Yang apparently was stuff from Monty's older work in prep
really
for this
cool.
fight.
Yeah.
If that's true, I think that is really awesome. And regardless, this whole fight over the 2 episodes. Between all 3 of these guys, I think was animated really, really well. And when you put that up against Cinder and Neo, which I've been going back and watching recently, the Tok Maria stuff, and the fight stuff on the train, I think it's done really, really well with animation this entire volume. And I'm really curious what they're going to do with next volume.
Yeah.
With next episode. How they're going to handled how that was handled by. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode a lot. I really, really liked what they did with Bumblebee and Adam and stuff, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I really like Cordovan as well, and another villain that no one likes, but I do. But I really like what they're doing with everything.
Sorry, trying to fix things.
That's alright.
The chatbot's doesn't want to work. We're seeing some of your messages come through. I apologise if we're missing any messages because the chatbot's it's not behaving today. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anywho. Yeah. I think that's basically recapped the whole episode. I think.
Yeah.
If we missed
I think so.
I really loved Blake and Yang's little hug after it as well. And that was really good too. And I think I don't know what else I was gonna say, but yeah, I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah. I will say that also that headcanon Yang gives the best hugs.
Yes.
Yang gives the best hugs.
And your drawing of that was really cool too. I really liked it.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. Okay.
Yeah. I'm so tired and out of it. It's so hot right now. So sorry if this stream's been a little bit over the place. I know I went on a few rants and I do apologise. Adam is just is a hot topic to talk about. That unintended with that?
I don't know if that worked.
I think it worked. Well, that was just my homepage, but it should be just there on the homepage.
There you go. Go check out Dawn's art if you haven't already.
Yeah, it should be one of the first things you see. It might just be around there.
Exactly, Artful. Artful said, Chapter 13, everyone's auras are depleted, giant bot stuff, too many Grim. It's looking bad here, folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It is. We sort of spoke about our predictions earlier on as well after we finished talking about the mech fight.
But just to recap, I think they'll go with the format of first episode will be a big fight, and then the last episode will probably be them finally heading to Atlas, or just the what's left over. of August. I hope it'll be like a 30-minute episode. Larissa thinks 40. We'll see.
Well, I'm thinking 40. So we got the outros. The credits are 5 minutes long, and then we got the intro, so that we're getting a 30 minutes of episode.
What do you think? What do you think the credit song will be?
Ooh, I'm hoping I really want a RWBY Pacific song. Okay, RWBY needs a song because she's only got Red Like Roses and Red Like Roses 2. She needs a song, so I'm hoping it's a RWBY song. Okay.
I think with how focused she's been in this episode, and with the possible trial by fire being this end of the volume, I definitely think that's a strong possibility. I don't know what else they'll really do. It'll be interesting because this will be the first volume that we potentially won't get a Weiss song, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't think we really had.
No, but I don't think there's one in volume 2. To be fair.
End credits scene. I think in the end credits scene might be like Neo and Cinder arriving in Atlas.
I feel like they'll save that for the character short. I feel like that'll be the character short next season.
Things aren't looking good, Oz. No. Now seeing.
Yeah, I'm curious if Ozpin will show up. I don't think he will. I think they'll save Oz. I think they'll save Ozpin for what everyone thought they'd do with Cinder, because everyone thought Cinder they wouldn't bring her back till they wouldn't bring Cinder back till next volume.
Yeah. Being
volume 7, but they brought it back early. I think they'll save Ozpin for quite a while. Looking back over, I still don't see anything about the title or anything like that degree.
So the chat was really bugging me. Do you think Ironwood will help? Oh my god, the things are good.
I think that there's a chance Ironwood and Winter will show up, or one of them will show up at the last minute,
well,
kind of like volume 2, I guess.
Yeah. J Spy with the Mirror Mirror part. So when you listen to that song in full, it's not nothing really about Weiss at all. It's got a whole mesh of different nursery rhymes and
it was
kind of
like there was always a very noticeable line, and a lot of people first noticed. I assume when I watch the reactions, I assume a lot of people will assume it'll be
no, it's got Red Riding Hood in it.
It's a combination of a lot. It's basically like a song. It's kind of meant to be about Cordovan, but it's kind of just like a mix of fairy tales, like a fairy tale ballad, I guess you could say.
I'll link you I recommend everyone go check this out. It's gonna play on my phone. Stop. It's the lyric video by Flint, and it's got the lyrics in it for the song, and I'll just paste that in there. There you go. Go check that out after the stream. It's so that's the full song for they're calling it Big Metal Boot, but we haven't got confirmation of what the actual title is. But that song is basically about Cordovan in a mech. So and that fight in general. I'm really looking forward to getting the full song. I think it'll be really cool. Yeah,
so songs in general this volume I think have been really, really cool, and really well paced throughout the volume, which is one of the things I really like. About
dissing on Cordo, exactly. Yeah, I love it. It's so amazing.
About this, because we've got so what do we got now? We got Lion Eyes, which was the first song.
Yes.
Got the intro.
Actually, I've got a list of them here.
Then we got Miracle. Then we got, I think.
Sorry, we got Lion Eyes, Rising, Miracle, One Thing, which is the Neo song.
Yep.
Forever Fall, and Big Metal Shoe.
Big Metal Shoe. So that's 7 already.
Yep.
So again, geez.
Well, it's
so
6 actually. Where are you getting the 7th one from?
6? No, 7.
So Lion Eyes, Rising, Miracle, One Thing, Forever Fall, and Big Metal Shoe. That's 6.
Oh, okay. I'm dumb. Well, 7 will be the credit song.
7 will be the credit song. I'm still really hoping it's a RWBY song. Yeah.
So I think that'll be it. I don't think we'll get a surprise song.
We might get an additional song, but I don't know.
I don't think so. I think we normally get 5, and then we get one additional song. Then we'll get an acoustic version and a few remixes.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the soundtrack. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Well, Casey mentioned again that it probably won't come out till June, May next year.
I want it now. I know.
How long it takes to work on it. And if you guys also, by the way, I don't know how many people actually saw this, but Casey did a Q&A recently.
Oh yeah,
on a YouTube page.
Yes.
Which has got a few cool stuff in there. There's one thing she mentioned, which I guess we kind of all assumed already, but she kind of said it I don't know if she was joking or not. Where one of the questions was how much of the show do you actually guys know about? And she was like, everything.
Everything.
So I don't. Which again, like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Miles, Kerry, Gray, Eddie, and then like maybe some of the voice actors, and then Jeff and Casey know like the long game for the show.
Well, they gotta know at least a bit because it's all referenced to in the song. So
yeah, I mean, it's one of the weirdest things that I'm always confused. Like that Miles and Kerry don't have much stuff on the songs. I'm like,
yeah.
But again, it's why, in case you said again, like none of the songs are really canon. No. They're not. They're just for the show kind of thing, just to kind of fill in the dead air and stuff. So yeah, because again, like Jeff kind of just like works off what I guess he assumes. But it's also funny because I know that Jeff has mentioned before that he doesn't like watch the show that much. I don't think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just goes to show, I guess, how good Jeff is to be able to write these songs without having that much influence on Miles and Kerry, or maybe I'm not sure if that's the case. But how much
what he needs to know, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess he just knows enough from Miles and Kerry, but that doesn't mean they have direct reference into the writing. I guess that makes sense. But anyway, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I feel like I've been talking nothing but shit most of this stream. So
I think it's about time to wrap it up. Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if Alice has some better mix out there besides Glorified Showpiece. The Tiny Racist Shoes. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do have some better mix. Well, we've seen some mix from back in Volume 2.
I probably wouldn't say I wouldn't say they're better mechs. I probably think this is probably their best mech they have. But they have other mechs we've seen back in Volumes 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But this was something of a mech. I don't know how Atlas would have that many more of these things, I would think. But, I mean...
Yeah, design-wise, yeah. I kind of get where you're coming from.
I think at first I thought the same thing, but, yeah, the better ones, those are in Genla. Yeah. Oh, no, I like it, but I think that's all for this stream.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Apologies for the issues with the chat, and if we missed anything, I apologize about that. It's been playing up. I think it's partly Twitch as well. So yeah.
But thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I know for my I apologize. But. Yeah, thank you all. It's really appreciated, all you guys. And, oh, yeah, that thing.
Hail the Great One.
Yeah.
And where's Phil?
She's there. She's there. Just accept it. She's there. That's as close she's getting.
God, Kira, what are you doing with your hair? It's going everywhere.
She can't really do much.
Hail the
She
Great
can't
One.
really do much of her hair these days. It's kind of in a pile.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah. Doesn't quite sit right.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of red felt pieces. But yes, all hail the Great One and Waifu. Thank you everyone for watching the Corner of Remnant, and we'll see you next week to discuss the finale.
Woo! Yeah, we'll actually be here. We'll actually be here for once for the finale.
Yay! We will. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
unlike RTX last year, kind of with a problem with that. But don't worry, we'll be here for the finale next week, and hopefully the weather and both of our continent get it, and we'll both be able to speak better.
Yes, hopefully.
Next week, and hopefully there'll be less controversial stuff to talk about. But I'm sure Bumblebee will be more of a thing, so we'll see.
We'll see.
But anyway, thank you guys.
Thank everyone for watching, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye!